You guys, welcome back to the channel. And as you can tell, I have a whole different camera angle going on here, different focal length. I just kind of get bored and I'm just trying to, try something new, seeing what I like. And ideally, I would like to have two cameras so I can jump between them. But at the moment, I'm stuck with just the one and my creativity. Today, you guys, in my opinion, marks a major victory. But some of you might not think so, but these little battles to me are everything. And it's what actually shapes the culture. You have to win the small battles in order to win the war. This is just reality. In my opinion, you guys, up to a certain age, when it comes to school, teachers should only be teaching kids about reading, math, and language, and not so much about their perspective on the world, their personal perspective on the world. See, those things should be taught by the parents, and hopefully in a two-parent household. I unfortunately grew up in a single-parent household, but I had a grandmother who also raised me, who basically was my father, so I learned a lot. It was a very rough upbringing, but I was taught how to be a good human being in the best way possible, and that was by the people who loved and cared about me. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's important that teachers teach things like be a good person and don't treat people like crap. Don't be a bully. That being said, there has to be some sort of limitations to what they're teaching in terms of these kinds of things. What should be taught is no matter how different somebody seems to be outside of you or your group of friends, that they should be taught with dignity and respect. These are just basic fundamental things that you should carry with you your entire life. What you shouldn't be taught is how to express yourself in certain types of ways. If you want to express yourself in those kinds of ways, you should just simply be respected. But it should not be the teacher who's encouraging these kinds of things. For example, you should be teaching kids to maybe not bully the other kids, no matter what the reasonings may be, and not saying, hey, it's okay if you're a boy, but you feel like a girl, you should express that. You see, teaching kids to not bully and to respect others is not the same as telling kids to express yourself in every single way possible, which I do believe to be true, but those are things that they need to be discussing with their parents, not so much you, the teacher. Telling kids to respect each other and not to be mean to each other is not the same thing as telling kids to express themselves as a girl even though you're biologically a boy. Those, of course, are topics that the parents should be having conversations with their children. Now, of course, it's not going to always pan out the way you want to, but then again, nothing does. If it were up to me, we'd be teaching gun safety courses at the 5th grade and not teaching them that it's okay to be a girl when you're a boy. But with that said, let's jump into today's headline. A Georgia school board fires a teacher for reading a book to students about gender identity. You see, those are not the topics you discuss with your students. Again, that kind of topic is not the same thing as telling kids to not be assholes. If there's anything you should be teaching these kids outside the general curriculum is don't be a dick. There are going to be some people that might seem a little off to you, but it's none of your business and you have no right to be a jerk to that person. If one of the kids is expressing themselves to be a little girly or another kid is just simply fat, just tell them, hey, don't be a dick to anyone. You just simply do not need to be specific. You just need to teach them not to be terrible human beings. Basically, mind your own business, and the best thing you can do is just not be a jerk. A Georgia school board voted along party lines Thursday to fire a teacher after officials said she improperly read a book on gender fluidity to her 5th grade class. The Cobb County School Board in suburban Atlanta voted 4-3 to fire Katie Ritterl, overriding the recommendation of a panel of 3 retired educators. The panel had found after a 2-day hearing that Ritterl had violated district policies, but said she should not be fired. She had been a teacher for 10 years when she had gotten into trouble in March for reading the picture book My Shadow is Purple by Scott Stewart at Due West Elementary School, after which some parents complained. Now, I have taken a look at the book, and it's not really super bad, but the point still remains. You should not be teaching kids about any of these kinds of things. These are topics that you can maybe argue a conversation on later in life when they're upper teens, but in the 5th grade, it is completely inappropriate. And I'm sorry, this teacher violated district policies and was recommended not to be fired? Are you kidding me? The case has drawn wide attention as a test of what public school teachers can teach in class, how much a school system can control teachers, and whether parents can veto instructions they dislike. It comes amid a nationwide conservative backlash to books and teaching about LGBTQ plus subjects in school. I want you to hear me out. If the majority of parents decided that, hey, we don't want this in our schools, we don't want this crap to be taught, I think that needs to be heard and respected. If we're talking about just like 1 or 2 parents who just dislike a certain thing, a certain topic they just simply don't agree with, that's up for discussion. But this teacher violated policies. This is not the same thing as just a parent being upset about what's being taught. You violated policies, and from the sounds of it, a number of parents were upset. So yes, parents in circumstances like this, especially when you violate policies, definitely should have a voice in what gets vetoed. What a ridiculous statement to make. Rinderly, and I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, declined comment after the vote, but released a statement through the Southern Poverty Law Center, which helped represent her. The district is sending a harmful message that not all students are worthy of affirmation in being their unapologetic and authentic selves. Rinderly said in a statement, this decision based on intentionally vague policies will result in more teachers self-censoring in fear of not knowing define where the invisible line will be drawn. The board's 4 Republicans voted to fire Italy, while the 3 Democrats voted against firing her after unsuccessfully seeking to delay the vote. Superintendent Chris Ragsdale, who is backed by the Republican majority, had originally recommended Italy be fired. There is nothing vague about policies like this. You should just simply not be teaching kids about anything of this nature. These, again, are conversations these kids need to have with their parents, and their parents, God willing, will open up the dialogue when the time is right, when they decide or do not decide to bring it up in the first place. It is not up to you to decide when or where that happens. But I definitely want to hear from you guys on what you think about this story, so definitely leave those comments in the comment section down below. And of course, do not forget to like or dislike the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video, I hope, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.